Hello and welcome to What If Civilization Started Over Part 3, Season 2. Now, in the last episode, we have looked at a pretty big war happening between Morocco, the red team, and the purple team. And today we're going to be looking at some different areas, but we're also going to be looking at Europe a lot, I think mostly, probably. So let's look at something. And we are going to look at Southeast Asia over here. Now, I think one person recommend this idea, and I've already kind of wanted to implement this idea in a future episode, but I think that it's more fitting to implement this idea early on rather than later on. So we will see the civilization pop up in Vietnam and I think southern China, and it mainly kind of follows this river. Now I know that this entire area over here is like a jungle, I think. I could be wrong. And it's also just very mountainous over here. So we won't really be going in there. But we will mainly be following this coast and also just in China. They will go down here and explore a lot of this island. And the main idea of this is that there was like a tribe here kind of already. But they are now like sustainable enough to finally become a country. And that's going to lead to the creation of this dark blue team over here, which is mainly going to be going around the rivers and into the southern Chinese area, which they really like. I think this area is really habitable. I could be wrong, but they're going to conquer most of this area also from going down here. And even going over here to the island, they will capture the entire island. But this is not going to be the only tribe forming into a country over here. Now, looking a bit further up north, we will see that another tribe has been in this region for quite a bit, and let me just do this real quickly. They know about something like this area, and they have inhabited this area for ages now. And so they will be forming their country over here, which will be like a gold colorish. And this country isn't too small, but they're also not too big, I would say. And I think they're around the same size as the blue team. And they're just going to be around this area mainly. And the countries aren't big enough to have like big cities yet, but I will give them major cities. So yeah, hang on. Alright, and this is how it's going to look like. We will see the gold team have a total of 3 major cities and the blue team a total of 4, since they are more populated. And now we will move back to Europe. And we will be moving over here to the red team. And the red team will actually explore a lot more areas in this European area, and they will discover the Rhineland, basically. And I'm pretty sure this is like one of the most prosperous regions in the entirety of Europe. And so a lot of people will stay here and explore the entirety of it, but they won't really go further yet. But we will also see the red team expand now. And so the areas that the red team will expand into will look something like this. Oops. Will look something like this. And as you can see, they expand greatly. But with this, there is actually a new issue, and that is their capital down here. And let's just say the red team is overall not a big fan of having the capital down here, because like 90% of their population is up here instead of below the Pyrenees Mountains down here. And so the red team will actually be moving their capital. And they did a vote on this, and it kind of was between either moving their capital over here or moving it up here. But this was also a pretty like favorable option, but it was way too close to the Moroccan puppet state. And the vote will actually be won by this major city over here, since the people below here also don't want to like feel disconnected, and they are kind of like the main people of this entire country, which rule the entire state, and so they want the capital to be close. But with this, we will see this capital down here being erased. And this kind of marks a new era for the red team. And moving up here, the orange team, they are very frightened. And they want to find out a plan as to how to not get invaded by the red team. Because the red team is kind of eyeing them down. And so they will like see this English area over here, and they will decide to actually mass explore this area, which will look something like this. And they're very good at their job. They're exploring a whole lot, and the red team is not really catching a whole lot of wind about this. And they will kind of go up here until it kind of becomes more rough terrain. They can't really handle, basically. But we will actually see people from the orange team move into this area. And it will sort of look something like this. And the orange team is going to relocate their headquarters over here into this English area. But they don't really have the population yet in here. Like, this area over here is still like twice as populated, I think, I would have to say. But they are working on it slowly. So now moving to a different area, and that will be Germany over here. And Germany will do some side expansion, but they will also have a different event happening to them. Now, first of all, they're going to expand, but they aren't really going to meet up with the red team yet. They're going to explore over here these regions, and especially up here, they will go up, explore all of this area, and go up here, but that will be a different story in a second. So the Lime Germany team will go ahead and they will sort of expand lightly into these outer regions, including Denmark and this island, and so it will look something like this. I think this is good, but some let's say some rogue villagers that were settled over here on this island aren't really so fond of the argument of the, what am I saying? So fond of the Germans, or the country, the Lime team, I guess. And so they will go over here, and there's a lot of people populating this area, and they will just sort of work and go higher, sort of just keep going until people don't really know where they went. And it's not like an actual expedition group that just like went up here. It's just like rogue, like they aren't allowed to do this technically. But so they will go up, and I'm just gonna color this for a second here so you can see what it's looking like. And they will follow the coast until they kind of meet this area over here. And so basically it's going to look something like this, where they will explore this entire area. And we will see a new country forming over here. Alright, and we're going to see this country form over here. It's pretty small, it doesn't have a lot of population yet, but it is the first country in Scandinavia. And they're pretty happy that they are far away from the Lime team now. And now we are actually going to move over to the blue team. And the blue team, as you can see, is a where are my, hold up, what? Oh, I'm missing my layers. Right, oh, never mind. It's here. So they are a monarchy. I've made this layer. So there's democracies yet, there's monarchies, dictatorships, and oligarchies. I'm not so sure how much I will do with the oligarchies. That's a topic for the future, but as you can see, most of the countries in the world are monarchies, besides some countries that are dictatorships that are probably smaller countries, like the Galician country over here, or the what is this, the Serbian country, because they kind of need protection, and so their population gets very militarized by the dictator, basically enforced. The blue team, they will go ahead and conquer quite some territories, and they will actually dare to step into the Turkish area for once. But before that, they will explore the entirety of Greece. And there's actually not really a lot of people living here. Not as much as you would expect. At least not as much tribe-ish. And so the Turkish people will go into this area, and if you can remember in episode 1, the people here got murdered. And it's going to be a very similar story. Once blue team soldiers enter this area, they're kind of moving through different countries. It's very weird, but a lot of them die and they have to kind of go undercover. Some of them are going to get as far as down here, and somehow manage to get back to the blue capital without getting murdered. But it's really rough to explore this area because it's just the countries like killing the blue team, basically. Or the blue team soldiers. Sorry, I kind of said that wrong. And so basically, we will see which tribes / countries will be forming down here, or at least appearing. And so this is basically what the area is going to look like. Now, let's get over to Greece first. Now, in Greece, as I said, there's not many people living over here, or tribes. And so you can kind of see this pink tribe over here. It's going to be the only competitor of the blue team. But moving over here into the Turkish area, the blue team hasn't really explored past this line. And as you can see, the gold team as example here, they obviously are far bigger than they know they are. Like the gold team as an example, they could be like this big, and the blue team would just not know it, since they haven't explored further. Same case with the red team over here. They only know about this basically, but it could just like be that they are far bigger, or the lime team down here. But there also just could be far bigger tribes, which the blue team does not know of. But basically, what these tribes have been doing, they've been kind of forming a lot of armies together to just murder these blue team officials. But this hasn't stopped the blue team of actually invading into them. And a prime example of this is the blue team finally taking a step and invading into this Zionist Zionist tribe. And the other tribes are going to see this, and they are going to stop this invasion until it looks something like this. And so the Zion tribe has been like reduced a lot, but the blue team also, it costs them probably around like 5,000 soldiers to even invade this region. So they are probably not going to invade in here anymore. But a different thing that the blue team will be doing is expanding into this region over here. And so we will mainly just see them go down here, and there's not really many rivers over here, or at least there aren't any. But they will mainly just go along the coast, and it isn't until the pink team also realizes this, and they will do exactly the same. They will just expand up, capture this island, and it will get to a point like this, where the blue team is just going to own the rest of this basically. And now the rest of the Southern Balkans are actually finally filled in. Now the blue team will also do some expansion in Romania. And you might wonder, how are they doing this much expansion? And I can tell you why. The blue team is probably one of the most populated countries in the entire world right now. Now the Moroccans are definitely first, but the blue team has had high fertility rates. I think that's right, fertility, I'm not so sure. But it's been working out greatly for them. And so they will explore this entire area over here, and they will take quite a chunk out of it actually. And it will look something like this. They will explore this Moldovan area, expand into it. And so they will basically take this ginormous chunk. It looked like this, now it looks like this. But the Serbians are actually quite scared of this. Let me turn off the, what is this layer? Yeah. The Serbians are quite scared of this, and they will also start expanding. Now they aren't really they don't really have the manpower to do this, but they're kind of forced to, since the dictator's telling them to do this. And so they will expand, and it will look something like this. And yeah, now moving over here to the purple team. A lot of their country is not really happy with them, and it will get to a point where we will see 2 new rebellions pop up. Now, as you can see, they aren't really that big, but their inner population is really mad at them. And let's see how this rebellion is going to look like. And these 2 states are going to look something like this. Now, I did say rebellion, but the purple team didn't really, they couldn't really say anything against this, so they just had to release them. And we will firstly see this Croat/Bosnian state appear, and over here we will see this Venetian state appear. Or Milan, I think Milan's located around here, I'm not so sure. And so yeah, it will look something like this. And now I think that we should look at the final event of the video. Actually, before the final event, I will update the map with the exploration, so it seems a lot nicer. And I just realized there is another event that I should talk about. And yeah, let's take a look at that. Alright, and this is how it's going to look like with the new exploration zones. And so you can see a lot of exploration in Central Europe. The Germans have finally found out about the French, I think I will call them from now, or the red team. And blue team has also done a lot of exploration up here, mainly with the Serbians and others. A lot of exploration in Ukraine, the Nordics, in Egypt and Morocco. And we will see 3 small events happen before I will get to the main event of the video. And yeah. Alright, so firstly we will see some expansion happen with 2 countries actually. And that is going to be Morocco taking all of these lands over here. And some lands up. Oh, I did not mean to do that. And some lands up here. And Egypt over here will actually also expand. Because they are a very prosperous country overall. And they are starting to grow into kind of regional power over here actually. Now, the blue team will actually manage to take a hold of Crete. And this kind of came with a surprise. Nobody was expecting them to go over here and take Crete, and this could lead to potential sea exploration and maybe even colonies. But we'll have to take a look at that in the future. Now, next up, we will happen 2 simultaneous invasions happen. And the first invasion will be over here with, you might have expected it. It will be the Moroccans starting an invasion of the Pink Galicians, and they are just outmatched basically. And the Andalusians are looking at this and they are frightened to death. They don't want to go take any land because they are scared that the Moroccans will do something, and so they're not going to. And it will kind of get to this, and before we take a look at the end of this war, we will also see the red team simultaneously start an invasion of the Dutch team. The Dutch team? Well, Northern French, I think, yeah. They were prepared for this. Well, not prepared military-wise, but as I talked about earlier, they already moved up here, mostly, and by now it's kind of like an 80 to 20% split. So 80% of the population is up here and 20% is down here. And the red team still didn't know about this. So they will move over here and they will have to fight one of their most fierce battles for this major city. Like, it's actually insane. They were not thinking that it would be this hard to capture this major city. But they will end up, and suddenly they realize there's land over here. But the Dutch or the Northern French, they just have naval supremacy over the red team. And so they're not able to conquer this area at all. And so going back down over here, we will see them capture the capital, and this will kind of mean the end for the pink team. And yeah, let's take a look at the peace treaty from these two wars. And yeah, let's take a look at the peace treaty of these two wars. Now, looking at this peace treaty, you can see that the Moroccans obviously fully annexed the, I think, I forgot the name. It's not Galicia, it's, what is it? I forgot the name. But secondly, over here in the northern French country, their core territory gets fully annexed, but they now control the entirety of England, basically. And with that, I will end this episode. Now, if you've liked this video, please subscribe and like. It would really help me, since I really need it. It's really rough as a new YouTuber, basically. But it will also very much encourage me to continue this series. I'm trying to do my best. Now, I know that the last upload was 8 days ago, but I hope that still keeps you watching the series, since I will try to do my best. I think that this episode was pretty good. We've seen new expansion in China. Overall, in Europe, a lot of events happen that I think are going to be very important for the future and will shape this series into a really good one. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode.